Hello and welcome back. Today's quote is from Brad Stulberg and it says, "Do not go after big goals because you think achieving them will make you a happy and fulfilled person." Spoiler alert, it won't. Go after big goals because you think the process of pursuing them will make you a happy and fulfilled person. 99.9% of life is the process. The people who achieve big and audacious goals are really obsessed with achieving big and audacious goals. They are focused on the path and on the process. The bigger the goal, the smaller the steps. Meaningful progress does not come from intensity or heroic efforts on any given day, but from discipline and consistency over months and years. Yes, pick the right peaks, but it's even more important to climb the right way. Now, this does go on. It's a bit of a carousel, and I think it's from like a book that he's written. But I thought that this was a really good one to read out because if you are too, I think it's great to have goals. I have goals, you have goals, we all have goals, okay? Whether that's body goals or work goals or whatever. But if we focus too much on the outcome, it distracts us from the process. And I'm a big believer that if you focus on the process and most of all focus on enjoying the process, you will get to your goal while also, without it feeling like a living hell. I feel like when we want, it puts us in this energy of lack. And sometimes that's like a negative place to be. And that can actually make us take less action. Whereas you're like, if you're like, right, I know I want to be healthier. I know I want to feel more confident in my skin. But I'm going to make sure that I enjoy this process of nourishing my body and, moving my body. And it's just a mindset shift between, restrict. If you're thinking about, with food, oh, I've got to restrict, I can't have this, I can't have that. You're in that state of lack. If you see an exercise as a form of punishment for what you've ate, you're in that state of lack. If you switch it from, I get to take care of my body, I get to nourish my body, I love taking care of my body, I love feeding my body food that it loves, I love moving my body because I know that that will make me stronger, happier, healthier. If you focus on the process in a more positive light, it allows you to be more consistent. And if you can be more consistent, you will reach that goal. And I do think I've had it in times like personal goals, health goals, business goals. If I focus too much on the goal, it paralyzes me and it makes the whole process really suffocating and really stressful, to be honest. Whereas that if I just think, wow, how lucky am I that I get to nourish my body? How lucky am I that I, get to do a job that impacts so many people? I get to enjoy every single day while working towards my goals. That is possible no matter what your goal is. Even if your goal is something difficult, like the whole fertility thing, I've spoke about it in the past. If you switch your view of, right now I'm grateful for the life that I've got and I'm grateful that I get to nourish my body while working towards that goal. And so I just thought it was a good one to read out because I do think that this obsession, the clients of mine, the people who've worked with me who are too goal obsessed and not process obsessed, don't get as far. And the girls who are process obsessed and they're focusing on the day to day, not the big scary goal. They're focusing on the day to day things that they need to do. They need to become that person first before the goal is possible. So yeah, that's your quote for the day. So let's go through some wins. I have got a couple of wins to read out. This is our weekly community Q&A. Before I get started, all of the women that I discussed today are real women from the Lift and Glow community. We've got online members and we've got gym members who are partaking in this Q&A. If you want to join the Lift and Glow community, click the link in the show notes. And then before I go on, please, if you can rate, review, comment, whatever. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Spotify or Apple or whatever, please engage with the podcast in some way. It really does make a massive difference. And I wouldn't ask if it didn't make a difference. I hate being a beg. It's not something that I enjoy doing. So it literally takes you 5 seconds and it allows me to get pushed to more women who need my help. So please engage with the podcast in some way. Okay, so wins. We've got Jess. So Jess has been a member of Lift and Glow Gym for a while and she's just hit 100 workouts. She said this is the most consistent she has been at anything in her life. I have this idea that Lift and Glow has just this magic touch, not just at the gym, but I also feel like this is the case online. I've got girls who've been training with me for 6 years, and it's like this one thing, something clicks when you become a member of our community. And I think it's a combination of what we do isn't stressful, what we do isn't overly restrictive, and the community that we've built is like it's like a big community of women who want to improve their health, not just shrink their bodies. Yes, they've got goals, but they want to like be better in every single way. And so things just click. Like, this is not uncommon. The amount of women who've never been able to stick at anything and then start working with us and like finally, put themselves first and take care of themselves is just amazing, and I absolutely love to see it. So I'm proud of you, Jess. You've worked really, really hard, and yeah, I'm so glad that we've helped you be consistent. It really is amazing. Like, I'm so proud of this community that we've built. It's so special. We've also got Chelsea. Chelsea got her heaviest weight in her RDLs and she's feeling really chuffed. She said she went to actual failure on her glute kickbacks as well, and she said, wow. So yeah, we want to make sure that we're not staying comfortable in our workouts, girls. Like, if you are just sticking to the rep range and it's like, oh, I'm doing 12 reps and that's easy, you are not going to make progress. I cannot stress this enough. You should be pulling faces. You should be fighting for your life. You should be really, really struggling to get that last 1 or 2 reps. Please push yourself out of that comfort zone. Particularly if you are online. When you're in the gym, the coaches are there and they're going to tell you, and they're going to watch how hard you're working and make sure you're pushing to the intensity. But if you're training on your own, you need to make sure you're thinking, right, what was that out of 10? How do I make it an 8 or 9 out of 10? Okay, so make sure that none of your sets are super easy, particularly your last 2 sets. I'm going to read one more win out. This is from Claire. She says she's off work on leave. Her old pre-Lift and Glow self would have pushed the fuck it button as soon as the outer's office was on, but not me now. I've been really sensible. I've had some meals out and I've had some treats, but I've kept myself in check. I'm pleased as we actually go away in 6 weeks, and I want to be in the best shape then. So this is amazing. So we have to realize that this is like a lifelong thing. You are all, everyone listen to this, okay? Speak this into reality. You are all women who care about your health and who show up for your health, okay? And that's like, that can be a small thing every day. It can be when you're on holiday. It could be when you're on leave. It can be even when you're not well. It can be when you're stressed. Do one thing every day that contributes to you being a healthier version of yourself. It might be going for a walk. It might be hydrating yourself. It might be nourishing your body, but do at least one thing a day. Try and do more, but do at least one thing a day. And, know that you're that type of person. Like I always like say to my clients, you're just the type of person who's consistent at the gym now. You're not someone who will ever stop again. This is what you do. And like, we have to tell ourselves those things to truly believe it. And that's really how we do become consistent, because we identify as someone who takes care of ourselves. Claire identifies as someone who nourishes her body and stays active regardless of whether she's on annual leave or not. And so that's why she's showing up in this way. So we have to shift the identity in order to achieve the outcome. And that's so powerful. Like, I talk all the time that coaching and weight loss and health, it's not about the calorie target. It's not about the workouts even. It's about how you think. It's about what you believe in yourself. It's about the decisions that you make. The mindset is like 98% of it. We all know how to eat healthy. We all know that we need to exercise. It's how you think and feel each day. It's how you behave. They're the big things. So the mindset is huge. Okie dokie, let's go through some challenges. Okay, so we've got, my current food choices are not helping me achieve the results I want. I understand that the main goal is strength and overall health, and as a parent to a child with special needs, that will always be my top priority, and it keeps me in the gym all year round. However, I also have a holiday coming up. My husband and I get 1 trip a year together and we're going to Spain. I'd really like to feel confident as possible for that. For me, that means being about half a stone lighter, noticing some changes around my thighs, stomach, arms and waist. I'm struggling with consistency. My breakfast and lunches are good. I have protein, yogurt and banana, a Baby Bell for a snack, and a tuna toastie with an apple. But things tend to fall apart in the evenings. I end up snacking on less healthy options and having meals that are likely over my calories. I've also fallen out the habit of tracking because I've never fully used scales for my evening meals, so I don't actually know what my calorie intake looks like for the day. I know I need to tighten things up or nothing will change. Annoyingly, I know all the tips. I listen to the podcast, so why can't I bloody do it? Okay, so let's first of all switch the mindset. You can bloody do it. In your words, you absolutely can do it. And the thing that's really important here is you know where we're slipping up. You know that the evening meal and the evening snacking is holding you back. And so that is the only thing you need to focus on. You've nailed your brekkie, you've nailed your lunch, you've got some healthy snacks in the day. We need to tackle the evening. Now, I know for your household in particular, evenings might be busy, they might be stressful, you've got to put kids to bed, you've got to make dinner, you've probably got to do some chores, and you're a working mum, and the evenings, you're tired and you've been up all day and you've made 1,000 decisions. So I totally understand that this is challenging, but this is not outside of your control. And also, you don't need to track food to know whether you are nourishing your body. And so what I want you to do is look back at the last week of evening meals and evening snacks and write it down on pen and paper. What did you have for tea and what did you have for your snacks? What out of those things, like underline them or circle them or put crosses next to them, what out of that whole week do you want to remove or reduce? So it might be that you had that you had a pizza on Wednesday night and you ate the full pizza instead of having half. Okay, so you want to remove that. What are you going to swap it for? We need a super, super easy replacement. Like, I think people want recipes. People want to be able to, be great at cooking. You don't need any of that. I am a super, super lazy cook, okay? I put a whole chicken in the oven, let it cook, and then I literally throw microwave mash or microwave rice or, chips in the air fryer, and I'll have it with salad, or I'll have like microwave carrot mash or broccoli and tender stem or frozen veg. Like, it is super easy to eat nourishing food. Okay, that's not my favourite thing in the world to eat. I'd much rather eat a lasagna. But it's a weekday, it's easy, it takes minimal effort, and it's fueling me well. So what you need to do is look at the meals that you've been having and what is it that's going wrong. Are your carb portions too big? Do we need to halve them? Okay, are you having a full packet of that microwave rice? Are you having, massive portions where it's a mountain on your plate? Let's start being in control of your plate. If your husband cooks for you, let him cook and then you serve it out. One fist of carbs, okay? So a closed fist of carbs, one open palm of protein, and then 2 big handfuls of plants. If he hasn't made any veggies, put a bowl of peas in the microwave with some water and heat them up just to add some veggies in, or get some microwave steamed broccoli to put in. Like, it is so bloody easy. It's so easy. And we need to stop making it so complicated. So I think we just need to look back. Exactly what are you not happy with? Portions, were they too big? Choices, were they incorrect? What do we need to do this week? What do we need to get on the food shop? How can you make life super simple for you? Also, what about meal preps? Like, I've been getting meal preps for about the last 3 months or so now. And like I said, I'm a lazy cook and I don't want to cook lunch every single day. So I have my meal preps. Maybe you have meal preps for your evening meals. Or maybe you do a bit of meal prepping on a Sunday and your husband can cook for himself and the kids and you have your meal preps. Honestly though, like, you can eat pretty much any food. If you manage the portions, you're absolutely fine. So if he makes a massive cottage pie, you just have a moderate portion of it. If he makes a lasagna, you just have a moderate portion of it. Be in control of your own portions. And then with the snacks, we just need to outright say, I'm not snacking. That gap between finishing work and waiting for dinner, we should not be snacking. Okay? If you want a treat, if you want a bit of chocolate, if you want a little snack, wait until you've had your dinner, wait until you sat down on the couch, take a big few deep breaths and you're like, do you know what? I fueled my body well. I'll treat myself to a little 200 calorie bit of chocolate or 200 calorie bit of ice cream. We shouldn't be snacking between your finishing work and your evening meal. And if you are starving, we need to time our snacks better. For example, like if you have your apple with your lunch, don't have your apple with your lunch. Have your apple in the car or on the train home from work. Let that tide you over until dinner's ready. Like spread those snacks out a little bit more sensibly so that when you get home, you're not raiding the cupboards. Okay, so this is a mindset thing before anything else. You know you can manage this. You know what the problem is. And all we need to do is address that problem by reducing portion sizes, making slightly different choices, and making life as easy as possible for yourself, whether that be getting really easy, boring dinners or whether that's get meal preps. Okay, so you are more than capable of this. And I think this all starts with you saying to yourself, I am more than capable of fixing this thing that's holding me back. I do not need to eat chocolate before my dinner. If I fuel my body well for the whole day, I'll treat myself to a little bit of chocolate as a little bit of a reward. Spread those snacks out a little bit. Have your lunch a little bit later if you can. All these things can really help. But the main thing with this is that you know you're holding yourself back with these habits. You know exactly what to do. So now you just need to do it. Like, there's no physical wall, there's no physical barrier stopping you from doing this thing. You literally just need to do it. Be in control of your portion sizes, be in control of your snacking, follow through with what you want. If you want that goal, if you want to lose fat for your holiday, do the work. It's as simple as that. Otherwise, don't complain about not doing the work. Don't complain about not getting the goal if you're not willing to actually take control of this thing that you know how to fix. Let's be honest. Okay, next we've got, sorry, I'm being a little bit slow with deciding because I've highlighted so much. I need to improve my nutrition, although I'm not exceeding calories in the main, but I need to eat more volume and fibre and veg. Okay, this is super easy. I want you all to have 2 plants with every meal, okay? If you miss that on one meal, don't worry, it's not a problem. But aim to have 2 plants in every meal. So that could be with your breakfast, you have blueberries and strawberries. Or if you have a savoury breakfast, it could be tomato and mushroom, okay? For your lunch, it could be lettuce and tomatoes and cucumber, like a nice salad. Or it could be broccoli and carrots. For your dinner, it could be broccoli and carrots, or it could be peas, like 2 plants in every meal. I have this little game in my head and I always laugh when I'm cooking. I'm like, how many plants can I fit into this meal? I'll be making a normal average meal, like let's say like a pasta bolognese, because that's something I make all the time, or a chili. And I'm like, let's add peppers, let's add carrot chunks, let's add peas. I get like frozen mixed veg and I literally add that to everything because it's just so easy. I'll be like, oh, there's mushrooms in the fridge, let's throw that in. Oh, I've got spinach, let's throw that in. And I just throw as many plants as possible in every meal that I can. If I'm making a sandwich, I'm like, right, how many layers can I get into this? I'll be like lettuce, then tuna, then some tomatoes, then a bit more tuna, then spring onion, and like try and just get more plants in every single meal. It's so easy to hit your 5 fruit and veg if you have 2 plants in every single meal. And that doesn't even include your snacks. You know, if you have an apple and a banana or a tangerine for snacks, you're absolutely winning. You could get up to like 9 pieces of fruit and veg in there. So this is something that with a little bit of intention you can definitely do. Everyone can definitely do. Definitely buy like frozen fruit and veg, because I don't know if you're anything like me, you end up with loads of fruit and veg in the fridge just rotting. So make sure you get some frozen stuff as well, because that's so handy to throw in things. Pre-prepared fruit and veg as well. So pre-prepared carrot, pre-prepared soup mix, you know, like that carrot and turnip thing, pre-prepared onion, and like the frozen things like I've said. Okay, I'm not 100% accurate with tracking, just with the odd biscuit here and there, and I'm not measuring oils when cooking. Okay, so if you are going to track food, you need to do it properly, because your oil, your biscuits here and there, easily could make up 300 to 500 calories, which would easily pull you out of your calorie deficit. So if you're going to track, commit to tracking. We can't be missing out these things. Like, say if you have 2 biscuits and then you use oil in 2 of your meals, easily could be 350, 400 calories. So this is actually like something that you know it's not helpful, so we need to nip it in the bud. If you're going to track, commit to tracking, because you need to see what your intake actually is. So next, I'm struggling with getting my workouts in and making more of an effort. If you want to feel your best, you have to do hard things. So no one can do it for you. Okay, if I want to achieve a healthy, strong body, if I want to show up with good energy, in a good mood, then I need to do hard things. That means peeling myself off the couch to cut yet another fucking onion. That means dragging myself to the gym when I really can't be bothered. That means doing things that I don't want to do. It means going for walks when I can't be bothered. It means going for walks in the rain. We have to do things that we don't want to do. If you're not willing to put in the effort, then I know this sounds really harsh, you don't deserve the results. We only achieve anything if we put in an effort. Nothing happens by accident. So if you're not putting in the effort, start. And like, I know for a fact as well, when we don't put the effort in, we don't feel good. Like, I love the feeling of feeling proud of myself. I absolutely love the feeling of winning the day. If I've ticked my boxes, I'm like, yes, Hayley, you are showing the fuck up for yourself and I'm proud of you. If I have days, and I have them, of course, or weeks where I'm just like, oh, I'm just not doing what I need to do, I don't feel good. I feel a lack of confidence. I feel like a fraud because of the job that I do. I feel like I just don't feel good. My energy isn't good. My mood isn't good. I don't feel proud of myself, and I want to feel proud of myself, so I will put the effort in. So I think if you want to feel good, if you want to feel a boost in mood, if you want to feel a boost in energy, if you want to feel a boost in confidence, if you want to feel fucking proud of yourself, put the effort in. It's as simple as that. Next, sleep has been poor this week. My mind's been racing at like 3 a.m. every night. If you're consistently waking up around 2, 3 a.m, this could be like a blood sugar thing. It might be that you're stressed. It might be that you're struggling a little bit with a lot going on. And that's, it is what it is. We go through those times. I know when I was opening the new gym, this was me. But one thing that really, really helped was having a high protein snack before bed. So I was having like a yogurt and fruit bowl, or I stopped having my tea so early at like 5 p.m. and I was having it at like 7, half 7, and that was helping. So a lot of the time, if you look this up, if you're consistently waking up around that 3 a.m. window, it could be blood sugars dropping. So it might be worth having a nice snack with protein, carbs, have a nice snack just before you go to bed, and that might help you sleep better. Even if you're stressed, and even if you know you're stressed, try that, because it might just help you sleep the way through. I struggled with balance last week for some reason, as I wasn't hungry as much during the week, so I skipped lunch a couple of times. But then come the weekend, I was really hungry, so I overate. I just want to remind everyone of this, okay? You don't need to wait until you're hungry to eat. You have to fuel yourself regardless of how you feel. Okay, so I feed my dog twice a day, every day, because I know that that's what she needs. She doesn't beg me for the food every time. She's just not that type of dog. But she gets fed anyway. When I have a baby or when I've got kids, I know that they'll get breakfast, lunch and dinner. They might not eat all of it all the time, but it's getting put in front of them. Like when I have my nephew, I put that food in front of him. Like, we take care of other people and animals better than we take care of ourselves. It does not matter if you're not hungry at lunchtime. You eat, because if you miss that meal, that hunger is going to catch up with you. It's going to catch up with you later on in the day. You're going to snack more. You're going to have your dinner and you're still going to be starving. It will catch up with you. We can't cheat this. Now, this used to be something I did all the time, and it's not helpful. Also, we need to make sure that we're managing energy levels and managing our blood sugar, basically the roller coaster of blood sugars. And this also helps with the hormones. So we need regular feeding. Those 3 meals a day are going to help you hit your protein. They're going to help you manage your energy. They're going to help you manage your blood sugars. They're going to help you manage your hormones. And that all encompasses how you feel every day. So skipping meals is not okay. I don't care if you're not hungry. I'm not hungry when I wake up in the morning and I make sure that I eat. When I eat first thing in the morning, I'm set up for the day and I fuel myself well. If I miss that meal, I have this huge energy crash and that hunger catches up with me. It affects my decision making. So we don't need to it should be that you fuel yourself. Your body deserves to be fueled properly every single day. Like, it's not helpful. I think in my old mindset, it was like, oh, well, I'm not hungry. And if I miss this meal, it means I'll eat less calories, so I'll be skinnier. And that might be where your mind is, but this isn't going to help you in the long run. We need to remember that our bodies deserve fueling on a regular basis all the time. Your digestive system loves routine. It loves being fed regularly and it loves being fed at regular times. So make sure that you're not thinking, I'm not hungry, so I'll just skip it. You deserve to eat and you need to take care of the future you by eating anyway. So this is an error that a lot of people will make, and I would highly recommend that you don't do this in future. I would say eat your 3 meals a day, regardless of your mood, regardless of how you feel. Get something in you at 3 intervals each day. It's going to allow you to get that protein in. It's going to allow you to fuel your body well and manage your energy levels well. And it prevents this hunger from catching up with you later on. Okay. Still doing some picking, but it's tiny. I'll leave that one. Someone said not eating too many treats. I think everyone listening to this is a grown-up, and I think everyone listening to this can realistically say that we shouldn't be having more than 10% of our calories on food that is shit, let's be honest. So chocolate, crisps, cake, all that type of stuff, having a small amount of that each day, okay, but more than one of those things, it's not good for us, and we know that. So limit yourself to 1 indulgence a day. This is going to save you for life, so make sure that you're fueling your body regularly throughout the day. Okay, so questions. I want to just make sure there's this other one addressed. Someone said that they've been at the same weight for 1 week, and I really just want to remind you that every single week the scales will not go down. We have natural fluctuations in water, and that therefore affects the scales. So we should be looking at our weight and how it trends over a month, 2 months, 3 months, rather than every single week, because some weeks it'll stay the same. Some weeks it'll drop half a pound. Some weeks it'll drop 2 pounds. Some weeks it'll go up. If you're due on your period, if you're particularly stressed, if you're particularly sore from the gym, you might see an increase on the scales. It doesn't mean you've gained fat. It's most likely, as long as you've been doing all of the things, it's most likely due to water weight fluctuations. So staying the same on the scales for 1 week, it's not a problem. And it's just not a sign for you to change anything. You just need to stick at it and keep cracking on doing what you're doing. Okay, so questions. My period always throws me off. I want to eat more. I feel down and unmotivated, and I feel like crap, and it ends up in me cancelling sessions. This just goes back to short and sweet. Follow the plan, not your mood. Okay? It's normal to have mood dips, energy dips when you're due on your period. It's part of what's going on with your body, like huge hormone fluctuations. And, it does impact us. We can't deny that it does impact a lot of us. But it's up to you. Keeks, no. It's up to you to follow the process. Keeks, no. Quiet. Guys, I'm having a hard time today. I'm having technical difficulties. My dog's barking. So it's up to you to do what you need to do, regardless of how you feel. I feel like every day in my head, it's like, fuck your mood, follow the plan. And I'm not saying ignore your emotions and all of that. We need to stay in touch with how we feel and, be able to regulate ourselves. But if I wake up and I'm like, oh, a bit tired, that's not an excuse for me to not go to the gym. If I wake up and I'm feeling a bit moody, that's not an excuse for me to not fuel my body well. Show up for yourself and you will always feel better for it. You might not have the best workout in the world when you're due on your period, but it's better doing it than not doing it. You don't need to hit PBs every single time. Remember the rule of thirds. A third of your workouts will feel amazing. A third of them will be bang average, and a third of them will feel like dog shit. And it's up to you to just keep showing up and keep putting the reps in. So I don't think it's not a good enough excuse, because we'd have 1 week off every single month if we listened to our period, show up. It might not be the best workout in the world, but you will feel better for moving. Like if you have that energy and mood dip around your menstrual cycle, there's honestly nothing better than going in and moving your body. You need those endorphins, you need that mood boost and that energy boost from moving your body. So fuck your mood, follow the plan, do what you need to do. It's like saying every time you're in a bad mood, I'm not going to go to work. What? You still need to earn money. You still need to show up. You still need to like have a good career. It's like me saying, oh, my business is closed today because I'm in a bad mood. My business is closed today because because I'm stressed. My business is closed today because I'm due on my period. I can't do that. You can't do that with your job. And we shouldn't be able to do that with our health. So show up. Show up even when you're unmotivated. Show up even when you're tired. Show up and do what you need to do. It's just who you are. It's just what you do. And that's how you be consistent. So these things, like, you know, we have to remember that if you're down in the dumps, if your energy is struggling, the thing that you need is to do the hard thing. The hard thing is usually what improves how we feel. Okay, so I should be able to do 5 workouts this week, but I do have the aim of hitting 4. Do I need to look at the 4 workouts a week plan? If I remember rightly, you haven't been doing 3 workouts every single week consistently for the last month or 2. And so I wouldn't just jump to 4 workouts. If you're someone who's struggling to consistently do 3, I'm having a terrible time. If you're someone who's struggling to do 3 workouts a week consistently, then we shouldn't be upping it to 4 just because you've got 1 good week ahead. When you've done a consistent 2 months of 3 a week, then I would say to upgrade to 4. The 4 workouts a week is split body. So you can't be missing. You can't just be doing 3 one week and then 2 another week. You've got to be consistent with it. The 3 workout a week, it's easier to be less consistent at because it's full body. So I would say no, not right now. Let's revisit it in future. If you are being really consistent at getting in 3 times a week and you do that for a couple of months, I'm happy to move you to 4 times. If you've got 4 hours to train this week, then just do workout 1, 2 and 3 and then go back to workout 1 and then next week do 2, 3 and 1 and just follow it like a continuum. You can do, you know, if you've having a great week and you've got loads of availability, even if you've only got 3 programmed workouts, you can do 4 sessions by just doing workout, you know, 1 twice. Follow it like a continuum. Your body doesn't know the difference between week to week. I struggle with the form on my weights on cable kickbacks. Would you advise, if I make them heavier, would you advise keeping them at the same weight until I find it easy, or should I do more reps? So we shouldn't be finding it easy. If you increase weight and your form goes, then we're just kind of between those two weights. I would do the heavier weight and take yourself to failure with that weight, and failure means when your form breaks. Okay, so if you're doing those kickbacks and you feel your form start to break after 8 reps, put the weight down and finish the set with a lighter weight. Okay, so take it to 15 with a lighter weight, and eventually you'll get more reps with that heavier weight and you'll be able to, you know, do your set of 15 with that heavier weight. But we only get better, we only get stronger from repeatedly trying the heavier weight. So I definitely wouldn't say to just keep doing the lighter one. I would say to keep trying the heavier one until you get better at it, and notice when your form goes, have a little rest, shake it off, try again, or if it is really going, go lighter to finish the set. Someone said, I would love meal ideas, what I eat in a day type suggestions. Honestly, I don't think that these are helpful because it all depends on the individual. I know that me and the Lift and Glow coaches are so boring with what we eat. Like, we all eat the same breakfasts every day. It's either eggs or it's yogurt and fruit, and we're just so repetitive. With lunch, it's always a sandwich, it's always a wrap, it's always a salad or a rice bowl. Again, so repetitive. It's chicken or it's tuna. Like, it's mega repetitive. And then evening meals, we literally eat stir fries, pastas, you know, your normal meals, chicken and veg. And like, I don't think that you need meal ideas. I think you need to eat food that you enjoy in a way that is going to help you hit your goals. So if you love cottage pie, have cottage pie, but have a portion that suits your goals and make sure you're adding plenty of fibre to it from veggies. If you love pasta, have pasta, but it doesn't need to be a mountain of pasta. It can be a portion that's nice and controlled. If you love curry, have curry. Like, there's no meals that are out of bounds, and you don't need new fancy recipes. We need to eat food that you enjoy and foods that are easy to fit into your life. Like, I can't stress this enough. My diet won't work for you. Your diet won't work for me. We like different things. We enjoy different foods. I like hot meals at lunchtime. You might love cold meals at lunchtime. Your work routine is different to mine. And so what you need to do is find a breakfast that works for you, that you're happy to eat every single day. Find a couple of lunches that you can just alternate between, that are super easy and that you can eat on repeat. So it might be that you have tuna Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It might be that you have chicken Tuesday, Thursday, and the weekends, and you have wraps on some, sandwiches on some. You mix up, plain mayo one day, Peronaise another day. Or maybe like me, you want hot lunches, and so you have leftovers or you have meal preps. It's just these what I eat in a days. Honestly, I just think they overwhelm people, because everyone saves. I know full well pretty much all of you listening to this will have loads of recipes saved on Instagram. You'll have recipe books in your cupboard. Do you use them? Or do you use them multiple times? So do you follow a recipe and then go back to that recipe, or do you try it once, it took so fucking long that you just decided to go back to one of your basic meals? Like, I have so many recipes saved. I've got recipe books and I never use them. I just stick to the things that are super easy for me to make. My food shop looks the same every single week, and my meals look the same every single week, and yours should too. That's how we make life easy for ourselves. You're busy women, you've got jobs, you've got kids, you've got households to run, you've got people to look after in your life. You do not need to be sitting there every day like, what am I going to eat today? What am I going to eat today? It should already be decided for you. I know every single week I buy a whole chicken, I buy 500 grams of mince, I buy loads of diced chicken, and I know that they're my meals for the evening, for dinner. I know that for breakfast I'm always having either chicken sausages or I'm having a yogurt bowl every single day. That's what works for me. Like, I eat chicken sausages at 5:30, 6 a.m. in the morning. I know that people don't want to do that, but I do because it helps me. You might want to have eggs. You might want to have yogurt. You might want to have an omelette. Like, you might like a bacon butty. Like, it's just unique to you. So the what I eat in a day isn't going to help you. It's what do you like to eat? What do you enjoy eating? What are the meals that you can eat that will make you happy, but also help you hit your goals? That's what we need to be asking. That's what we need to be looking for. Like, write it out on a piece of paper. If you want inspiration for your meals, there is tons in the educational section. We've got easy meals for busy women, which is basically minimal prep, minimal cooking. We've got meal plans for if you're in a calorie deficit. There's full meal plans there. Again, really simple, really easy meals. We've also got thousands and thousands of recipes. So if you go on the Lift and Glow app and you go to the meal tracker, if you go to Discover, you will find thousands of recipes, all the recipes that you could ever need. If you've got like turkey mince in the fridge, you just search turkey mince and it will bring up hundreds of things that you can make with that turkey mince. You have so many recipes at your fingertips, aside from all the ones that are on TikTok and Instagram. So we don't need more. We just need things that work for you. In terms of like structure of eating, 3 meals a day, all based around protein, snacking predominantly on fruit and veggies, and maybe one daily indulgence that's less than 200 calories. That is everyone's structure. If you don't want to track calories, stick to that and you will fuel yourself well. There's also a guide in the education section on how to eat well without tracking calories, and that helps you use your hands for portion sizes, and that's a really, really good guide at helping you understand how to manage your food intake and how to fuel your body well without having to track calories. So have a little look at that, because that talks about how to structure your day, talks about how to structure your meals and things to think about each day so that you're not overeating. So that's a great guide too. Okay. The beginning of the week, I felt so tired and drained, but as the week went on, I fueled my body well as I could, and something lifted. And by Thursday, I felt so much better. It really just shows that continuing and not giving up is not giving up. There is an end to the fatigue and being drained. Now, I wanted to read this one out because it basically answers the first question that I asked, which was, when I'm due on my period, I feel down and unmotivated. It makes me cancel the gym. This person has shown you specifically and everyone else here that if you just troop on through, continue to nourish your body, continue to show up for your health, just go through them slumps, go through them dips, go through them slogs, keep showing up, and the light will come. Something will lift. You'll be like, I'm so glad I continued taking care of myself. Because she said if I didn't, I'd stay stuck in that rut. And that's exactly what happens. We keep ourselves stuck in ruts by what we do and how we show up. And so I want you to make sure that even if it feels hard, you do what you need to do to take care of yourself. Push through the sticky bits, push through the tough days. And the tough days will go. Like, you'll be like, oh, I'm so glad I did that. I feel so proud. And it will lift. Your energy will lift. Your mood will lift. You just need to keep trooping on. Absolutely love that. Okay, so I stopped tracking because I tend to stick to the same meals and know what I'm doing with my nutrition, and I'm in a really good routine. My body has changed, but I would still love to drop a few pounds before I go away mid-June. Should I carry on as I have been doing, or should I go back to tracking everything? Look at what you're eating right now. So if you're wanting to tighten things up a little bit without tracking right now, look at what you're eating, maybe write it out on a pen and paper and think about how you can reduce your calories slightly without changing anything drastically. So for example, right now you might have high protein yogurt with 40 grams of granola or 40 grams of oats. If we want to just reduce the calories in that a little bit, we take the granola from 40 grams to 25 grams or the oats from 40 grams to 30 grams. So you don't need to track everything. In my head, I think, right, I want to tighten things up a little bit. This is what I did before my wedding. I want to tighten things up a little bit. So I'm going to eat exactly the same meals, but I'm going to reduce my portions slightly. So instead of having 100 grams of dry pasta, I took it to 75. Instead of having, I have big portions of rice. Like, I eat about 2,500 calories a day because I'm active. I've got a lot of muscle and, I like to be fueled. And so I take that down. Okay, take my rice portions down. I might take a snack out. So instead of having that hummus and crackers in the afternoon, I'll just not have that. So if you look at your routine, look at what you're currently eating. How can you reduce it slightly? It might be going from the sandwiches at lunch to having salads. And that's enough for you to save 250 calories a day, depending on the bread that you have. And maybe that 250 calories a day is enough to just really get things going on the scales, just short term. And then after the holiday, bring in the sandwiches again. So I've done this with one of my one-to-one girls. She was not tracking. She was eating a healthy diet, and she said, right, I'm going to go back tracking because I want to lose weight. And I was like, hang on a minute, you've tracked over and over and over again for years. I want us to do this without tracking. So instead, let's just tweak each meal in a tiny, tiny way and see what happens. And she was consistently losing weight for weeks. And it's honestly, it makes such a big difference. Tiny, tiny tweaks can go a long way. So if right now you're having a bar of chocolate every day, can you make that every other day? If you're having, like I said, sandwiches at lunch, can you make that a sandwich every other day? Or can you make it a salad every day? And like, if you're having those 100 grams of pasta, make it 75. Like, how can you just tweak what you're currently eating so that your meals are still enjoyable? Your routine doesn't need to drastically change. Everything's still, easy for you to do. It doesn't feel complicated. You're just making tiny adjustments. For me, it could be, instead of having a banana every morning, I take that banana away and just stick to my berries, because a banana is higher in calories, and has more carbs. It's like just tiny, tiny tweaks can make a big difference. But what I would say is, do not change your protein portions. Keep your yogurt, your eggs, your chicken, your beef, your fish, keep all of that the same and just tweak like your oil. So maybe half the oil, maybe tweak your carbs, take a little bit off your, 25% portion off your carbs, and just reduce things slightly with your carbs and your fats. It might be that you don't have butter on your sandwiches for a bit because you're trying to cut back on calories slightly. It might be that you go from full fat mayo to light mayo, or it might be that instead of having a tablespoon of mayo, you have half a tablespoon of mayo. Like, these things over a week can really add up. And so I would try that because you're in a great routine and you know how to fuel yourself well and you've been doing it for a long time. I would just try doing that and see how you find it. Okay, girlies, so I do apologise for if this, when it gets posted, is a bit disjointed. I had a few technical difficulties. I had the dog barking, my voice was going, but we made it. That is the end. If you have any questions for me, please make sure you let me know. Have a great week. Make sure to rate, review, comment, all of the things. And if you want to join the community, just click the link in the show notes and I'll see you all soon. Bye.